Elizabeth is my bottle unit 1 visual unit model. This is my second part of doing it, but with different questions that were given. So yeah. What does it mean to be alive? This is a little drawing I did in person. From Unit 1 ecosystem interactions, part 2 population dynamics. Population dynamics. Here, many changes in population size and structure driven by factors like birth rates, death rates, and migration. Understanding population dynamics helps explain how organisms survive, adapt, and interact with their environment, emphasizing that being alive is not only about individual survival, but also about the relationships and balances with populations. And this is a little statistics I did and some people. From the same Unit 1, Part 1, Characteristics of Living Things, characteristics such as metabolism, growth, reproduction, response to stimuli, and ability to adapt to the environment help differentiate living things from non-living matter. By explaining these traits, we can do better understand what it means to be alive, as they will all contribute to the process that sustains life. The characteristics of living things provide a framework for defining life itself. This is a little sub I did. For Part 3, community interactions. With community interactions like competition, predators, and mutualism impact survival and adaptation. Understanding their interactions shows that being alive involves not just individual existence, but also how organisms rely on and influence each other within a company or a community. They both go. And this is a little ego kind of I did for it. For the second guiding question, how does energy and matter move from ocean ecosystems into the valley and alpine ecosystems of Northern California? This is a little ocean I did with the sun kind of on it. For Unit 1, Part 3, community interactions, as previously, energy and the nutrients from the ocean carried by water and atmospheric processes can support plant and animal life in valley and affluent ecosystems. These transfer impact food webs, species, and interactions in ecosystem dynamics highlight how organic and different communities depend on, interact, and with resources following from one ecosystem to another. I'm basically saying they're interacting with resources from one ecosystem to another. Sorry if I stuttered for a little bit. And this is a little fish I did for the ecosystem. For Part 2, population dynamics, same constraints with population dynamics by showing how the flow of energy and nutrients affects species growth, survival, and migration. There are more transfers influence birth rates, death rates, and population sizes arrows ecosystems. And this is some energy bolts I did for it. For Unit 1, Part 1, Characteristics of Living Things, it highlights how organisms, different ecosystems, rely on the flow of energy and matter to survive. Characteristics like metabolism, growth, and adaptation of influenced by the availability of resources. Understanding how energy and matter move helps explain how living things in the multiple ecosystems get together and their needs and maintains the processes with everything of it. And this is a little hard to go with the growth and ecosystem characteristics. For my third guiding question, how can we relate a case study such as the salmon, elk, and otter or other cost study to ecological succession? This is a little otter I drew for it. But for Part 1, characteristics of living things, how this connects is showing traits like adaptability and behavior influence, how organisms interact with and are affected by ecological succession, shaping their role in changing ecosystems. And this is a little tree I made for it. For part 2, population dynamics. As ecosystems evolve, factors like resources, availability, competition, and habitat changes influence birth rates, death rates, and migration patterns of species like salmon, elk, or otters, with shifts in their population sizes and structures. And this is an elk I did. And for the last one, for part 3, community interactions, as habitat shifts, species like salmon, elk, or otters, many alter the relationships with other organisms such as predators, prey, or competitors, influencing the overall structure and dynamics of the community. These changing interactions shape the process of ecological succession. And this is kind of like a good mark for it. And this is my project for the Bottle Unit 1, the part 2 version of this.